Well, I'm about 106 hours now, and I finished the root brackets connecting to the main spar. And right now we have to use one of the brackets to drill the holes. And I've got the spars stacked up. This hole lines up the spars, the two spars, and I've got it. Geez, oh man. I got it front, and on the opposite side, front, and the rears are touching in the middle. So if you just fold them out like this, that's how the wings are right now, back to back. Okay, and the spars are. So right now I'm going to drill right down through these two holes, and I am going to put bushings in there, and the bushings are going to be 1/4 inch, and they're going to go on through here also. Actually, they're going to be 247 thousandths, 246 thousandths maybe. But I'll bring the bracket with me to work, and I'll make the bushing so it fits perfectly, and I'll bring a bolt, and 3 bolt, make sure it fits snug. And but here's the target point, the datum point for the bracket. 1.5 inch off before you cut the angle, or I should say at a right angle up. 1.5 inch off, 4 inches up, which makes it rather easy with a 24-inch scale. You just set your 1.5 inch side along the square edge, and you mark the 4 inches right there, and then just slide that hole right over top of that, and then set it. That's about 15-degree angle. I measured the print to get the actual angle. So you just line it up pretty much. It's the far end of that bracket should be close to the top spar cap. And just like the strut attach point, I don't really want to drill down through the bracket, so I'm just going to mark it. And the root area here, and the relationship between the rear spar and the forward spar, is where I've had trouble in restorations, where you're only making, or repairs from my crashes, where you're only making one wing to match the other side. And if you just get this a tiny bit off, say this is just a 1/16 of an inch down, and the rear is just a 1/16 of an inch up, or it changes your angle of attack, your angle of incidence, I mean, or the relationship between the two wings. So you've got to be careful when you're not building them together. I'm building these together stacked up. I'm going to drill straight down through them. They should be pretty darn close. Well, I've got it lined up and spotted a bit, and the last thing I do before I go ahead and go down through is make sure that my edges are all lined up. As far as this end is going to get cut off, and we'll drop bolts in here and then cut them together, cut the angle for the dihedral. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and put a bolt down through that, and then go ahead and drill that one. And we got her lined up as far as this here jack being even with that side, and being level with the table that way. There we go. So, got it marked, main root, and now I gotta just get the bolt out of there. And let's go ahead and drop some bolts now. These are actually going to have bushings in them and AN3 bolts going down through them. The bushings are actually going to go part way through the, or most of the way, be maybe 30 thousandths short on each side of coming all the way through. So there will be pressure from the AN3 bolts, but the bushings will be resting inside here. So there we go. And how far? It looks dead nuts on. Yeah. So we'll get them both up in the air. Start them down, and oh, this one here is tight on the hole. That's a good thing though. Pretty darn tight. But anyways, that's the way you want it to fit. You want it to be tight. Incidentally, I didn't just mark this and lay it out and then start drilling. As I'm doing that, I'm continuously looking at these and these. It seems to me, I remember doing this upside down perhaps, or at least it was quite a while ago. At least I started to lay it out the wrong direction. Anyways, I know that I've cut the 1/4 inch angle one time. I cut it the wrong direction. That's the thing about laying, and that's why I say make sure you lay it out. Make sure you define what the top and the bottom is, and front and back. As far as building up in this area for the wheels for the ailerons, the pulleys for the ailerons, I just wait until I've got my ribs glued in and I put my geodetic on. I leave several strands, crisscrosses of geodetic. I leave them off so that I can install all that, because it just seems like if you just do it relative to the print, you just don't come out right, and you end up drilling more holes, building it up a little bit different and drilling more holes. And I've seen that with other builders too. So just wait until you're putting your compression strut and all of that, after you've gotten the ribs on and you've put most of your geodetic on, just leaving a few out where you need to get in here and work.